back to our first relaunch edition of Leading and Growing Your Real Estate Business. Coach James Short here, aka Shorty, and pumped, excited to be back. This is a great podcast show to interview all the greats within the industry and everyone in between, just to hear and share some of their experiences and knowledge. And it is an honor and a privilege to have our first guest back onto the show, Mr. David Gray. Let's hear about his rap sheet. CEO of Elders Lifestyle Group and the Ideal Group. He is a mover and shake within the industry with his Elders Lifestyle Group on the mid-north coast, 16 offices from Laurelton up to Brunswick Head and everywhere in between, 150 staff. He's looking at residential, commercial, holidays, PMs, sales, the whole bit and everything in between. The Ideal Group, he looks at financial services, maintenance, smoke alarms, and I'm sure there's a few other businesses in there as well. He's an auctioneer. He's a property developer. He's also owner of Camp Jordan, which is a beautiful boutique accommodation in Port Macquarie, and the Med at Crescent Head. He is an athlete, an Ironman. We've done some Ironman races together, and a kickboxing champion. He's a thought leader within the industry. He's a presenter. He's an Aussie battler. He's a top bloke, and he's my best mate. Dave, mate, so good to have you. Thank you so much for coming onto the show.
Hey, mate, you're a good storyteller.
I was making some notes this morning, and it was just like, mate, I could just be writing this for hours. It's so good, so good. Mate, so mate, Port Macquarie, right? You moved from Sydney, you moved up to Port Macquarie, saw an opportunity, you jumped on it, and it's just grown since then. So, like, share us as like that journey. What took you on that journey? Why did you want to move out of Sydney?
Yeah, I wanted to leave out of Sydney for a change. Lifestyle, I wasn't living in Sydney, was not sort of where I wanted to be. And I suppose in one way you could look that I sort of also ran away from Sydney at the same time looking for something, which I think a lot of people have done. Mid-North Coast is a beautiful spot, but also I did see an opportunity that sort of what the prices were selling for up here and what was selling for in Sydney, there was a gap. So my own property investor head said, it can't be too long before this catches up. And look, I didn't think it would take as quick as this, but certainly COVID, treated me really well, and we did see a big jump.
Yeah, totally. And now we just had your amazing annual conference and gala awards, and we had a chat there briefly on the night when you walked in, and it was just absolutely a huge event. Share us a bit about what went through your mind and the lead up to that, and how you got to that point, not just for the event, but for the team itself, because it's been an absolutely beautiful journey.
Yeah, I think when you grow, you don't stop. Yeah. And I think when you grow, like someone said to me the other day, like, how do you grow a business and keep the business clean, or systems, procedures, or even maybe drama? And I said, it's impossible. Growth is messy. Growth is full on growth. Yeah. So I think that a lot of businesses are run twofold out there. They're either run really well, really tight, really well managed, and they're a beautiful business, but they probably don't have the growth. And yeah, growth is exciting, but you have all that other side. For a long time, we wanted to get all the offices together, and it sort of, I find it quite painful in a way that we can't often get as many people together as we'd like to. But to actually stop just for a second and look around the room, and I think it's just you're quickly looking at all those different moments you've had with so many different people, and you're like, wow, yeah. It's one of those line in the stand moments for the business. It was pretty special.
It was magic. It was magic. Now, there's been a change in the market, right, recently. Where do you see the industry and the market over the next 12 months? What are you looking to see down the
Yeah,
road?
I'm actually going for a lunch with Com James from CBA today, so it would have been nice if we did this afternoon. But my gut feel is that we're hurting more than is let on. I don't think that the stats, and I always say that the stats, are always a little bit too late. So going around the grounds and listening to a lot of people are hurting. A lot of people stretched themselves in COVID. I know from our real estate, we're still ticking along and going well, but it's really the decisions that I made outside, and even people that work for me outside, where, either the caravan or the boat or the investment property. So I think we're all feeling that we do in a high inflation type market. I think there's going to be a lot more hurt between now and Christmas. Now, I'm not talking prices. I think prices seem quite stable, and I think we're going to transact, and we might see some more stock. So real estate market will be quite steady. between now and the end of the year, but I think we're going to start seeing a little bit more hurt in the world. And I think that stock on the market is the world saying, yeah, we can't afford these things, or we choose not to hold on to anymore. And if we see one rate rise, I don't want it, but in one way, I think that would make the recovery quicker. But yeah, I think come November, December, the papers are going to be doom and gloom, and whether it's December or early in the year, we'll see a rate rise. We'll see a rate decline. Yeah, because I think we're a lot closer to a recession than what we're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Great advice there. Thank you. So
And just sorry on that, Shorty, I just to add, because I think what we're going to do now is we're going to see swings a lot quicker. I think we're going to see a good market, a bad market, and now with the world being so connected, instead of like a 3-year or a 5-year, it's going to pop, 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 pop. Yeah.
So shorter ups and downs compared to over a couple of years. Yep. Yeah.
Correct.
Nice. Okay. Cool. So based on that, right? So being the CEO, being the leader of your business, and also talking to other business owners, principals, directors out there around the industry, how are you guys preparing that for your team, for the business, for the market? What are you guys doing differently, or just it's same old, same old?
Yeah, I think what people need to hear, and this is what I'm really speaking to people, is it is hard. And I think often we look at other businesses or we look at other people and we think it's easy. It's not. I think everyone's doing it a bit tough at the moment. And those struggles from a really good market to a hard market quite quickly. And when I'm in a hard market, so like most businesses, we had December and Jan as nearly dot months for us. Now, it's been good since. And I think other businesses, like I just spoke to one of our competitors this morning, and they had a dot mark, like March, April was really slow. And I think in this modern world, 2 quiet months make it really quite hard. So for now, I know, and I didn't listen to my advice around COVID, I was saying it's all about buffer. All right. So it's buffer financially, it's buffer in our day, it's buffer in our timeline, it's buffer in our personal life. It's creating a sense of buffer. Now, we all got caught up in that crazy rush, and I think we all forgot about buffer. And whether it's been stretched, as I just said, personally, business, time, management, whatever it is. So for me now, when I'm speaking to people, is 1, acknowledge that it is hard. You're not out there alone. 2, we always get through it. We always get through it. 3, a lot of gratitude. Like we all, made really good money for a couple of years, and it's not dire straits. I've been in markets where there's no buyers. The last 3 months we've hit budget. So there's got to be a lot of gratitude around that. And then 4, really focusing on, okay, now what are our lessons? Because if these swings are going to happen nice and quick, you can't ride a good market for a few years, or you might have to go through a bad market for a few years, but be ready for those big swings and take advantage of them when you need to.
Yeah, love it. And that's so true, right? And that just stems down into the team and some individuals, some great performances through some individual agents. What are you noticing some of those individual agents within your team, and what are you noticing out there in the industry that are doing well? What are they doing differently out there that a lot of others aren't?
Well, the core basics that I'm talking about the team is about accountability. And the first is accountability could look like that you're trying to micromanage. I say, look, you pay a coach, you pay a personal trainer. We should feel lucky that we've got accountability, because that helps us keep on track. So one thing is we're really focusing on accountability. Number 2 is that days on market has gone out a little bit. So most people, and we're seeing are carrying more stock. So we're just really focusing on stock management at the moment, and knowing, I talk about 3 things, like where are our offers at? What's our target? Like where do we think it's going to sell? And what's our asking? And if we look at all our stock and we look at those 3 areas, then we can manage that. And I think the most important thing is that, 1, we're not alone in any situation. And number 2, like, what are we acting surprised about? We're in a market that runs through cycles, and we're just in a different cycle. So, people are doing deals out there, and it may as well be us. So, we're just trying to show a lot of gratitude, being motivated, keeping positive. And I'm saying to the guys, like, where's that little bit of rest? Where's that little bit of time? Where's that little bit of time for you? Like tomorrow, for example, I'm taking a day out. There's a few little things that I'm going to do that, will fill my cup up, and I'm going to do that for me. So in this time, how are you filling your cup up? And it doesn't need to be a week off, but I reckon you can fill your cup up if you're quite aware very, very quickly.
So true, right? So true. Because then you can obviously give more to others, and and you can be that best version of you. So true, so true. So what's on the
And
horizon for you? Yeah, go on. What were we going to say?
I was just saying, and that was a great segue. It's really about value. It's really about value. I think entitlement, we think we deserve the business or we think we deserve our com. But when we really can get back to what's our value, like as a business leader, like I'm constantly challenged, what value? And that's the thing I'm working personally on at the moment is like, what's my value piece in this business? It used to be knowing everyone, knowing everyone's family, being really close to now, blue sky type strategy CEO, and then me dealing with that change. So for me moving forward, it's like I was talking to a business consultant yesterday and I was saying, what's really weird is it used to be just myself and one GM, and then we got a leadership team. But now I've got a leadership team with managers under them. So, there's a lot of stuff happening better than I can do underneath my nose that I don't know about, which is a dream. But I've got to start dealing with that. So that's the exciting part about that business is that change. We're still looking at growth, mate. I think when you talked about growth's all about momentum, and when you can build momentum, in anything, I talk about the sales guys. Like I'm harder on them when they sell 4 in a month than 1 in a month, because 1 in a month they've got no real momentum. Once you've done 4 in a month, you don't want to let that go because that's hard. And I'll talk about the rock. Once you get that rock going, you don't want to stop. So we push, keep pushing that rock going. The same with our business at the moment. Like, yeah, sure, we've had a bit of cash flow, we've had a couple of quieter months, but there's momentum in that business, and I don't want to stop that. So yeah, we're still looking at some growth options right now, and yeah, some pretty exciting avenues that we're looking at because there are a few gaps between Laurelton and Bruns. So yeah, we're just to correct you. So we're looking to fill a couple of those in.
Love it. Love it. So I want to grab something that you said before about your own personal growth going from, just the one GM and now you've got leadership team and managers underneath them. What's been that growth piece for you to go, oh my gosh, like, yeah, I may not know everyone's, family members and kids and everything like that now, because it's like, oh, you walk in, it's like there's new people in the office, and it's like that must have been a huge step or leap forward. How have you dealt with that personally?
I'm in the middle of it. I'm in the middle of it right now. So it's not something that I'm on the other side of. I think what I said to took a bit of time out, just went down the beach with the dog this morning and just, was quite reflective on where I'm at. And I think it's moments like that. And I think like no matter what you're doing or no matter how much personal development work, leadership work, I think we run in waves. And I think, we are energy. Yeah. So, it was a couple of months ago, my energy was great. I was on fire and everything like that. And then, I've had the other wave. And I think what I looked at myself this morning is when I look through my life and even other people's lives, it's a constant wave here of up and down. So just realizing where I'm on the wave and what I need to do. So right now, what I need to do is reconnect back to me and where I need to be and what's my purpose. And my biggest purpose is that, I've made mistakes, and I think, I don't mean this negatively, but like everyone's got a story and everyone's hurting out there. And one of my purpose pieces is if I can just use one of my lessons to make someone's life a little bit easier, like to me, that's something that I love. So it's just getting back to that. And then now that I've empowered these people amazingly to do their job, just because I'm feeling a little bit insecure with that, I can't take that out on them. So what I want to do is yesterday I was like, I'm going to have meetings. I'm like, no, that's your stuff, Dave. So I've taken this morning out just to check on, okay, that's where I'm at, get really grounded. And then my next step is retouching with all those managers, because even though they're on the run, or those leaders, I should say, where are they actually at and where do they need my help? And I think for anyone, no matter who you are, and I've met so many amazing business people, we've all run stories, no matter whether we're the CEO or whether, we're the first day in the office. So like, what are the stories that I'm telling myself right now are real and what aren't? And then build a plan around that. And I need to go and get the information first. So I'll speak to my leadership team, work out what they think the gaps are, not necessarily my story. And then, mate, I'm now on that wave back up of like fully pumped, like ready to go, and then implement that back into the business. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. I love that self-reflection piece, right? So important. And then tying into your stories, which is like, okay. And I think that's where as leaders stepping back, like you did this morning, just have that self-reflection and go, hang on, like have that self-check-in rather than just go. That self-reflection piece, and then tying to what stories could I be possibly running around that? Oh, Love it.
Well,
Love it.
I mean,
Love it.
it's scary at the moment because there's systems and procedures running in the business that are getting implemented so well that I have no idea what they've actually done. You know, really, really transparently, and
Totally,
they're
bro.
running so much better than what I might have been involved.
Yeah.
And like that is a bit scary. And like, then you got all these other stories. Like, am I getting too old? Am I this? Am I that? So like all these little stories to get back and go, no, 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 no. Like, your day of being the soldier is one thing. You're now the general. The general can't fight like the 23-year-old SAS guy. So it is, you do have a different lens on the business now. And yeah, the value is different. So, and I think whether you've been in the business 3 months or 6 months, there's a lesson there to know around, what is the story and what's the truth and where's my value.
Yeah, love it. Love it, love it, love it. So I've got a bunch of 60-second questions to fire at you. See how we go with these. So favorite movie?
Oh, sugar. Braveheart.
Cool. Favorite food?
Italian.
Love it. Favorite holiday destination?
Byron.
Love it. Morning routine. What's your morning routine?
At the moment, 5 a.m. gym. 5 a.m. gym, a bit of time with the dog, and then straight into the office.
Excellent. Evening routine.
At the moment, I've been zoning out a little bit of escapism, like quite transparently with a bit of TV. But also, there's not many. I'll spend another half an hour before I go to bed clearing out emails. Yeah.
Love it. If you could choose 5 inspirational people to have dinner with, who would they be? They could be either dead or alive.
Mark Burris, Richard Branson, Muhammad Ali, Richard Holiday, and Obama.
Love it. Love it. Love it. If you were prime minister for the day, what's one thing that you would change?
I would like to look at the way managing inflation. And I think the world's changed with spending. So I would like to do a study that instead of playing around with interest rates, if we'd up the GST so the government was collecting more money and we did better things with that money, would that be better than affecting the people that are the investors, that are the good people, and then taking money from the people that are spending, crazily?
Good point. Good point. Best piece of advice?
It's all your fault. Take responsibility.
Love it. Love it. So how can the audience get in touch with you on socials? How can they follow your journey? What's the best social handles to follow you on?
Yeah, David C. Gray on Instagram is best. Yep.
Love it. Love it. So
And
final
email me anytime. Yeah. They'll be able to email me through Elders Lifestyle Group and just pick up the phone. It's funny, I've talked to so many people that, have got way bigger careers than me. And they always say, oh, you're busy. And they go, but people don't reach out. But yeah, anyone's always, please reach out if anyone's got a question.
Oh, love it. Love it. Mate, really appreciate your time, energy, your expertise, your knowledge. Mate, it's always nice having a chat and catching up. Really appreciate it, mates. And all the show notes will be in the description later on. So, mate, once again, thank you for your time.
Thanks, Shorty. Have a good day, mate. Cheers. Bye.
Awesome. So there we go. Another edition of Leading and Growing Your Real Estate Business. This is Coach James Short, aka Shorty, your host of the show. And if you would like to either jump on our show or know of a guest that would be great to jump on to be interviewed, just reach out. Website, www.jamesshort.com.au, and make sure you subscribe and you follow to all the upcoming episodes as well. And make sure you share it. Have a great day. Bye for now.